You're listening to Purdue's #1 sports talk radio show, Sports Night on WCCR, Extreme College Radio.
Sweep to the right-hand side, into the 15, breaks to the outside, off the block, goes to the 10, to the 5, and he scoots into the end zone with a touchdown.
Moore has it, head to Johnson, it'll knock it!
Play action pass, he rolls straight back, they've got a man wide open, it's Ross, he's at the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Boilermakers!
Corner Smith shoots another three. Bullseye! It's intercepted. Ricardo Allen may score. He's at the 30. He's at the 40. One man to beat is Robinson. Robinson can't get him. He's at the 30, the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Ricardo Allen.
Good evening, sports fans, and welcome to Sports Night. I'm Mike Tainer.
And I'm Steve Pedraza. Mike, haven't seen you in a while. Since last show.
Since last show, I've been fantastic. I've been busy. I had two exams last week.
Okay, that makes up for it.
One on Wednesday too. So
not on Monday like Sam last week.
Oh yeah. Sam had like 6 exams almost every other week last year. It seemed.
I looked at my schedule for the rest of the year. No exams.
Very good
on Monday.
Yeah, very good
for this semester.
Yeah.
So. Everything good?
Yeah, everything's been fed. Well, one of them I got an 84 on, so that's good news.
Wow.
The other one I don't know. It's on Blackboard right now. I got to look at it when I get back to my apartment. So
the dreadful Blackboard.
That's the slow Blackboard.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so guys, welcome. We got another fantastic show lined up for you guys tonight. We're gonna let you know what's happening in Purdue Athletics. We'll break down and analyze the Purdue football team's blowout victory to Southeast Missouri State. Mike and I will take a look at Week 2 in the NFL in our segment, The Red Zone. Finally, we'll go through some sports news in Headline Crossfire. Mike, you ready to go?
Was born ready. Let's start off with Back in Black this past week in Boilermaker Athletics.
The number 14 Purdue women's volleyball team outlasted the Louisville Cardinals in a 5-set win to open the Big Ten Big East Challenge Friday afternoon, thanks to a balanced offensive attack. Junior Ariel Turner led the way with a 20-kill, 15-dig double-double, and also chipped in 2 aces and 2 blocks. On Saturday, the Boilers took on Cincinnati and defeated the Bearcats in 3 straight sets to go 11-0 on the season for the first time since 2005. The ladies open Big Ten play this Friday at home versus Michigan State.
The men's cross-country team are state champions. Oh, were they state? Well, see, I don't even know that. They were state. Oh, that's hey, here we go. And the women's cross country thing, they took on third. They had an exciting day for Purdue. For the Purdue cross country aura at the Indiana Intercollegiates on Friday. For just the second time since 2001, the men's cross country team took top spot in the state after posting a team score of 35. 5 better than the hosting Hoosiers of Indiana University. Congrats to the men's and women's cross country team.
The Purdue women's soccer team took on Indiana State last Wednesday and defeated the Sycamores 4-0. Forward Haley Stewart scored twice for the Boilermakers. Then on Sunday, the team had their Big Ten opener versus Michigan State, but fell to the Spartans 2-1. Just announced a few hours ago, Purdue freshman Alex Hairston was named Women's Soccer Big Ten Freshman of the Week. The Purdue women's soccer team will play again on Friday at home versus Nebraska at 7 p.m.
The Purdue women's tennis team wrapped up the final day at Duke Fab 4 Invite Sunday, and the results were impressive. Senior Jennifer Rabbit and sophomore Maria Schmidt won the C Flight double titles. And freshman Linda, I
lined it up for you.
There we go. Linda, let's see. Oh, my gosh.
Polius.
Exfoliase.
Yes.
Okay, Exfoliase took 7th place in the blue division.
Caleb hands it off to Bolden. Bolden on the right side. Touchdown. The first touchdown since 2009 for Ralph Bolden. Robert Marr from the shotgun. This is his first possession. He throws quickly on the right side, complete to Gary Bush, and it's a walk-in touchdown. Edison in motion, and he takes the quick handoff to the right. Great block on the corner by Shavers. Edison inside the 5, touchdown Purdue.
This past Saturday, the Purdue football team took on Southeast Missouri State and defeated the Redhawks in blowout fashion. The final score was 59-0. Some key stats from the game. Purdue offensively had a total yardage of 627 yards. They had 33 first downs. Third down conversions, they were 6 for 9. And I think this was a key stat, Mike. Red zone scoring chances, they were 9 for 9 inside the red zone.
That's large.
Individual key stats. In rushing, Akeem Shavers led the way with 11 carries for total yards of 75 yards and 2 touchdown runs. Passing, we saw both quarterbacks, Caleb Turbush and Robert Marv. Turbush was in there for the majority of the rest of the game. He completed 14 of 17 passes for 143 yards. And then Robert Marv came in middle of the second quarter. First series went 5 for 5 with a touchdown pass.
Yeah,
we'll get to him in a second. He on the day he was completed 7 of 8 passes for 91 yards, and like I said, 1 touchdown pass. Receiving, Justin Siller led the team with 5 catches for a total yards of 61 yards. Defensively, linebacker Will Lucas led the team with 7 tackles. Half a tackle was a sack. 1.5 tackles for a loss, and Chris Carlina also had 7 tackles. For Southeast Missouri State, total yards, they only had 153 yards. Total offense, 9 first downs. Individual stats, leading rusher was Levi Terrell, carried the ball 9 times for total yards of 33. And then their quarterback, Matt Schiebel, completed 7 of 16 passes with 1 interception, total yards of 61 yards on the day. Pretty impressive, Mike. What do you think?
It was very impressive. The game, it was exciting to watch Purdue do so good. It started getting boring late because there's, whenever you blow out a team at, 50 to 59 to nothing. It was a great game to watch. It was a fun game to watch. It was great to see Robert Marv finally get back on the field after being out for, since, what was it, game 2 or 3? 2?
Game 4 against Toledo.
Game 4, yeah. I mean, it's been a while, and it was great to see him do so good. Now, mind you, this isn't a true test, because let's be honest, it's not a...
Right.
But it was just great to see him back out there and throwing again. Watching both these guys play, they both look fantastic. Marv did have the only touchdown pass. What do you think? How do you think Danny Hope's going to approach how he's going to run quarterbacks the rest of the year?
For the rest of the year, I think we won't know a lot this week. It's kind of like their off week. They're going to still do, work on some things during the week since it's a bye week. Just get fundamentals back in order.
Right.
I don't think we're going to have a clear answer until game time.
Very true.
To be honest with you. Marv played exceptionally well. In warm-ups, he looked fine. A lot of people were saying, a couple weeks beforehand, he was still hesitating on that knee that he had surgery with that torn ACL.
Mm-hmm.
He looked throwing the ball real crisp.
Yeah.
Granted, it was warm-ups, but in the game, he showed it too.
Right. We'll have to see how he plays against Notre Dame. They may be 1-2, but they definitely aren't anywhere near a terrible. They beat a tough Michigan State team last week. They're a pretty good team, and they should be. Honestly, they should be at least 2-1. That Michigan game was ridiculous, and how they blew it. So we'll see how Mark plays in 2 weeks. How much time he gets against the real good team, and
all I can say is for Notre Dame, which we'll talk about next week. We'll probably do the Notre Dame game, but just at the quarterback situation. I can't see Danny Hill playing 2 quarterbacks against Notre Dame, especially the way Notre Dame's defense played against Michigan State.
Yeah.
That was a whole new defensive team we saw in Notre Dame this past weekend with Michigan State. And I think you're going to have to stick with Robert Marv. See how he feels. We'll get more news as the week goes on about how Marv felt after the game. But he looked really well, played really well. That first series, 5 for 5 with that 1 touchdown pass. The offense just looked... It looked different when he was in the game, when he first came in. And I just can't see Danny Hope saying we're going to be playing 2 quarterbacks. I think he's going to be saying Turbush is the number 1 quarterback, and then come game time, it's going to be Robert Marv starting.
Right.
Play that, different quarterback we strategize for. I guarantee you Notre Dame's going to strategize for both. But I just think Robert Marv right now is going to be the starting quarterback versus Notre Dame in 2 weeks. Ralph Bolden had 2 touchdown carries.
Yep.
First one since 2009. I thought he played exceptionally well. He didn't play the first quarter. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
He didn't do, according to Danny Hope, he didn't do his academic business, so he had to sit for 1 quarter.
Yeah.
So our rushing attack, I love how they're sticking with it. I know we criticized them a lot last week for going away with it, But, you knew you could run against this Southeast Missouri State team.
Right. I mean, look at they almost got 393 total yards.
Yeah.
I mean, 10 different rushers.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, some of them were Marv, some of them were receivers, and Tavian Edison.
Yeah, Tavian Edison had a couple of shavers.
Right.
Akeem Hunt.
Yeah. So, mind this isn't all running backs running for 400 yards. But I mean, overall, I mean, it was just you look at these averages. Let me see. The lowest average here is 3.5, and that was by Caleb Turbush. Pretty much everybody else, even Marv, had one rush for 6 yards. Everybody else was pretty much well over 5.
Oh, yeah, when Marv ran that, when he had that 6 yards, I was in the student section. All of a sudden, I just hear,
yeah, because they think it's going to bust it,
Sure that knee stays intact.
It's like, oh my God, Mark, just slide. It's like, oh my gosh. But I mean, it was just great to see, like you said, against a team that we should run well against. We did.
Right.
Got a ton of yards. I mean, you look at even Akeem Shavers had a fantastic game. I mean, he scored 2 touchdowns.
He's been playing great.
Oh, fantastic. And if you can have that 1-2 punch with running back, like we talked about earlier, especially when you start playing tougher teams like North, and once we get into the Big Ten games and you're playing tougher teams, you're going to need to have that running game. And it's good to at least know that there's 2 solid running backs you can lean back on.
Right.
In any given situation.
Defensively, I thought they came out physical.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I know it's Southeast Missouri State. You're going to say,
this is what should have happened, blah, blah, blah.
We should have blown them out no matter what.
Yeah.
But they came out and played physical. That's all we wanted to see. That's all we asked for, and they did it.
Yeah. I mean, we were criticizing the first 2 weeks because I think the one thing I said last week, you can't give up 24 points a game to teams like this, teams like Rice,
Right.
And they showed last week that they can be a very good only 153 total rushing yards, total yards in general.
Yeah.
And the one huge thing I thought, no red zone attempts for the Red Hawks. I mean, they didn't even get near.
We kept them in check.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's huge. So, I mean, I was absolutely impressed with the way that our defense played. Really came out and just took it to them and didn't ever let them get in the zone, any kind of rhythm, any kind of anything.
How about Southeast Missouri State's first play on offense? They try to throw a bomb to their 6'6" receiver, and boom, here comes Ricardo Allen.
Yeah, I remember I was doing something in the kitchen. I just remember hearing one of the announcers yell Ricardo Allen. I really ran right, and I saw him return. Had the ball in his hand. That was,
to take that away from a 6'6" receiver.
Well, we said he's one of our best players as a sophomore.
And hey, for a first pick of the season to come that way, that was pretty awesome. That was pretty awesome.
He is a stud. He's a very good cornerback.
Overall, the team played exactly how we thought they would these first 3 games. I mean, this is what we expected.
This is what we were hoping
from
them.
In game 2.
Yeah.
Everyone's before the Southeast Missouri State game. I was reading students' tweets online, Facebook. I mean, this is going to be Purdue's statement game. This is no statement game. From our first show this season, I said I marked this with a W.
Yeah.
I didn't care how we got. I knew we were getting a W. This is no statement game.
Yeah, this is not a game.
I mean, granted, the offensive line blew their defensive line out of the stadium. Our defensive line took their offensive line and just played with them.
Yeah,
we should have been playing with them the whole entire game, which we did. This is a team we should blow out.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm just glad we came out physical and did what we came to do and got the job done.
Yeah, I think for sure. I mean, this is just a game, like you said, that should have been won. I think our first statement game, and as you said, we'll talk about that, the Notre Dame game next week. I'm not going to get into it this week, but I'm just going to say if there's any statement game, that's it.
Right.
Because that's our first true competition. Because we should be, let's be honest, 3-0 right now. We had kind of a flip-up fluke with, but that is the first true competition that